Hello everyone, I hope your day is going well, and today on All Things CS we are going to talk about the GitLab Package Registry, dealing with NPM in particular. So prerequisite that you'll need is you'll need to have Node installed, as well as you will need a repository set up. You can go up here, click new repo, new project, right there, and go through the steps of setting that up. All right, let's go to our repository. Here we have it, and I'm just going to do npm init. That is not how you spell init. There you go. And if you want to, you can use yarn as well. I know some people like to use yarn, but for now we're going to just stick with npm. npm init. All right, and just hit enter, and there we go. And you'll see that we have a package.json now. Let's open up this in code, VS Code. You can use any editor that you prefer. And so a couple things that we need to do is we need to set the scope for this package. And so we're going to do an at. And what are we adding at? Well, if you go up to your, up here, you're going to see this at, and I have all things CS. And so that is the word that you're going to use. That's your scope per se. You can see it up here as well. And so in their documentation they have this foo. That's what foo is supposed to be. It's a little confusing reading through the documentation, figuring out exactly what you're supposed to use sometimes. So that is what you want to use. So we're going to put that in here. All things CS slash. There we go. Okay, it doesn't like capitalization. Right. And so we are going to just create a file that we want to export, okay? So index.js. Now we'll just console log. Hello world. All right. Next thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to look for that. So we're going to do files, and then we're going to just put in index.js. Another thing that we'll need is we will need a publish config. And in this publish config, we are going to put this guy here. Let me find it. Here we go. We're going to want to put this essentially. So. And we're going to want to change a few things. So we're going to change all things CS. And if you have an instance, GitLab instance, then you will put your instance in there. I am on just gitlab.com, so I'm going to leave it as that. And then you want your project ID here. So let's take a look at our project ID. Tutorial. And this is our project ID right here. That's where you find that. Let's paste that into here. And there we go. Let's save. All right. So what else do we want to do? The next thing we will want to do is we will want to set up a .npmrc. So this is kind of something funny that I found. Is their npmrc stuff, and I'm not a big fan of it personally. And this is their naming convention stuff, by the way. And I will link this in this description there. But I'm just going to copy this right here. We're not going to use it exactly like that though. We're going to modify it a little bit. So let's go like this. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And then I want you to see here. So it shows your token. And so, by the way, all of this stuff right here, npm config set, that basically is setting this to your root npmrc. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to set it in the project folder, which is completely fine to do. And you can do variables as well if you like. I'm just going to do it like this. Modify this, get rid of that. Example, foo, we need to change that to all things CS. And yep, looks good. So auth token. What's the auth token? And why do we need that? So that's going to link it here. And so we're going to go over here to your project. So we're in our project right now. And then we're going to want to go to repository and deploy tokens right here. Click that. And you can create a name. So let's do GitLab tutorial. And expiration date if you want, username if you want. And we are going to click these ones, read package registry, write package registry, and we're going to deploy that token. And this right here is the password for the token. And you want to save that, okay? And then we are going to come here, go to CI/CD, go to your variables, add a new variable, and let's just call this GitLab token, and mask it. We don't need that. And there you go. Another thing we're going to need for this is we are going to need a runner. Now, if you don't have a runner set up for this project, you will need to do that. So I believe right now it will automatically set one of these shared runners, but you can create your own runner if you want, and there's instructions to do that here. I'm just going to use one of these shared runners, as that seems to work. All right. And there may be a few steps that you have to go through to set this up. If you've never set this up before, you have to give GitLab your credit card information, which they don't do anything with. They're just authenticating that you're a real individual, and essentially they don't want random people using up the running space. So, all right, so we have that token. Let's paste it in here. There we go. And so the reason why we're doing this here is because it's going to be used when we run our pipeline, I believe. I've tried it without this and it doesn't seem to work. So it's just kind of something funky with the package registry, and yeah, GitLab. It's a new thing, so I believe there's still stuff going on with that. All right, so the next thing we're going to want to do is we want to set our GitLab-ci. So I'm just coming down here, and then we're going to get our GitLab-ci right here. Okay. Create new file, gitlab.ci.yml. All right. Paste in this contents. And so stages, if you've never seen GitLab-ci before, if you're unfamiliar with it, it is a little haunting at first, I suppose. And so basically this stages thing, this will run each of these stages, deploy, in certain orders. And so you can modify this to deploy on different stages. And so like if I had a deploy, I could make a build and create create another one that would be build down here, like such, you know. And so, yeah, definitely look into that more. But for now, we're just going to go with this. And so this is echoing npmrc, gitlab-ci token, and GitLab project. And I believe it should work without that, you know. Let's just, for good old time's sake, let's just ignore this npmrc, and let's see what happens. It's always good to test things, experiment a little bit. And so I believe we have everything that we need right now, actually. And I'm sure that there's something I'm probably missing, but let's just kind of do a quick scan through. I believe if they're yarn2, there's instructions for that, but yeah, not really that concerned about that. Okay, all right. And this is essentially what I did there. That's that. Yeah, and it says to do this if you're installing it from an outside source, but from my experience, it says install NPM packages from other organizations, but from my experience, you always need this, which seems kind of ridiculous to me, but if you know otherwise, please, down in the comments, let me know, because definitely something I'd like to figure out. So, let's push this. Git status. Let's see all our untracked stuff. Git add. And git commit. Also, if you want to have a semantic release involved in your NPM package registry, there is an option for that as well. But this, for now, is just the simple version. So that's why we're doing this. First commit. All right. Well, not first commit, but first package. One more thing. Let's go to our versioning. So this is going to be the version number. And whatever I choose this to be, that's going to be the version number. So if you try to commit the same version, if you don't add in correct git push and stuff like that, if you don't change this, it will not run the pipeline. So, and let's do oh, yeah, I forget. Exclamation marks in commit messages are not a thing. I got a little overexcited there. All right. Okay. What is going on here? Ooh, yeah. Well, that's okay. It'll just be version 1. That's fine. All right. Let's see how it's going here. Pipeline. Hopefully nothing fails, and it's running. So we'll see. Just gotta wait a little bit. Takes a little while, I think, with these shared runners, but not too long. In the meantime, let's talk about going beyond just using the simple, basic hello world. You can indeed, if you are a React developer, for instance, or I suppose you use Gatsby, you can create JavaScript files. And for creating JavaScript files, not necessarily React, but if you have a JavaScript file and you want to publish that to your package registry, there will be a few more things that you'll need to do. You will need to use rollup.js And there's a few configurations doing that. And so essentially here, where you have your files, you will roll up everything into a dist. I'll just spell that out, dist. And so you will need to roll everything up into there and look at that there for JavaScript. If you are doing React, you will also need Babel, yeah. And in order to roll up components and things such as that. Otherwise, yeah, you'll run into issues. And I plan on making a video about that as well. So, all right, this worked. Yeah, woohoo! All right, job succeeded. So, let's check it out. Let's go to our packages. And what do you know? We have our first package. All right, that's cool. So, yeah, let's see if we can install this. Let's just make one really fast. Create a blank project, test environment. All right. So basically here we're just going to test npm init and see if this works. All right. So we have our packages, and so here you'll see in our package registry, back over here, we'll have these couple commands. Echo all things. And so you're going to need this npmrc in your project root, or you can do it in your computer root, but project root works where you're not cluttering up with a big npmrc. And okay, so and let's see what's going on. Let's do code. Yeah, okay, it's there now. I don't know why it should. Oh, probably because it's a hidden file. Okay. Yeah, so, and then we will do this. Oh, just a note on this other one. It seemed to be fine with that hidden. So, hooray! That's good. That's good. I like that. And we're going to try this. And you will see it does not work. It says not found. So like, what the heck? What the heck is going on? Why is this not working? Yeah, funny thing, GitLab. So yeah, that's something that I have to gripe with GitLab. And this is still new, so I imagine that perhaps it will get better in the future, but for now, yeah, I feel like that's a big problem. If you have to, my bad, I'm skipping around a lot here. So if you have to have a token in your npmrc every time, that is really, really something. And it works now. What do you know? So having this, you can use a variable if you want, and just have that in your bash. But yeah, why do you have it like that, GitLab? I don't know. And if you guys know, leave a comment down below. But as far as I'm concerned, there should be an easier and better way. So that's the gist of it. And yeah, now we have package.json, and you can see all things CS is now a dependency. That is the basics of creating a package registry using NPM. I hope that was helpful. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more videos. And everyone, have an excellent evening.